So what's going on? My name's Elric Fares, and if you guys don't know me, I've been in the tech industry literally since day one. I used to be Doc Overclock of motherboards.org, and motherboards.org was one of the very first tech sites to ever grace the round ball known as planet Earth. So I can tell you that, honestly, the good old days of the PC industry are far behind us. And in today's video, I'm going to tell you why things just ain't like they used to be. Did you just buy a brand new computer or upgrade your old computer with so many parts it's now asking for a new Windows key and you don't have one? Well, check this out. VIP Your CD Key has you covered, and you don't have to pay Bill Gates that $199 price tag at all. You can get it right now for under $25, and it's easier than ever to do. All you do is you go over to the website. On their website, you create an account. After that, you go and find your software. You put your software in the cart, enter the code TOT20. It will give you a wonderful 25% discount. You go to the checkout. After you do the checkout, check your email a couple of minutes later. You will have the code in there. Put it in your computer and activate your computer. It's that simple. And check it out. All of these codes are guaranteed for life. So save yourself some money and check out the links below. So before there was even a real PC industry, like PC, personal computer, big boom industry, a neighbor of mine named Steve Day back in 1980 had already had a computer. He had a Commodore 64. He turned me on to this tape machine, and I got into that, and then I got into Amigas, and all kinds of other weird little computers that they used to have back then. And then I kind of got out of it for a little bit, and then right around 1986, 87, I started going, wow, what's going on here? These computers are really starting to take off. And right from that moment, I jumped into it. I was totally into playing games on the PC, having fun with it, and just really enjoying the newness of it all. Now, you guys might say, oh, why are the best days of the PC industry behind us, Elric? Well, it's like this. When anything new comes out, when it's new and it comes out, that's usually the best years of anything, whether it's music, literature, writing. Look, Shakespeare's still famous to this day. How long ago was that crap? I don't know exactly what I'm trying to say here with that exactly, but what I'm trying to say though is when things in the beginning are fresh and they're new, it's exciting. When the PC industry first started off, you could go into all of these giant stores. There were all of these chains that had tons and tons and tons of PC stuff. Because you remember, back in the day, Bill Gates said that his biggest goal was to get a PC in everybody's home. Well, I think that he almost succeeded. I think that most people who are, dealing in a normal type of life have a computer these days, because that's how you communicate and do everything these days. It's on a computer, paying your bills, everything else. But when this first came out, it was new, and you could buy video cards, and they were really decently priced. You could buy a computer, it was decently priced. The games were fresh. The graphics were better. They were better right off the bat. There were all of these new things that you could get that weren't available before at your home. You could get all of these items, printers, scanners, stuff that you couldn't even imagine, keyboards, just everything. And back in those days, there really wasn't even such a thing called a gaming market. It didn't even exist. People just went out and bought their computers, had their cards, and you play games. they had this cheesy thing called the S3, and it was never even a 3D card. But these days we're excited. I remember going to my first Comdex way, way back when, and it literally took up not just one part of Vegas like it does now at the CES. It took up multiple locations on the Strip, all the way from the Sands, all the way down to the convention center. These places were packed. It was exciting. I worked for a company that made CD duplication. People laugh that down. They go, CD duplication? Ha! But believe it or not, back then I worked for this company called Eiley, and this was an exciting business. It was very booming, and people were buying it all the time because that was the industry at the time. Now, the industry's completely gone. But this stuff was exciting back then. CDs were exciting. You could take music, games, anything you wanted, and turn it into your own. Totally turn into your own. You know, this led down other roads, like the Napster maniacal thing that the people in Metallica did, where they went against Napster, and they're like, no, don't take our music and listen to it for free. That's terrible, you bad, bad people. Well, for a long time, you could use Napster, and it was frickin' awesome. You could share music with all your friends all the way around the world. People exchanged things. I had a huge music collection. I don't even know what has happened to it after all these years because, you know, now they've got Apple Music. But back in the beginning, things were so exciting. Things were affordable. There wasn't any, serious, gaming competition or any of that stuff. None of that was even around yet. That stuff hadn't even really... I don't even know. I mean, somebody probably eventually, thought of it and bumped into it. But when I started getting into it back in the early 80s, gaming was something that people did, but there was no discussion of having a professional gaming league or people playing games for cash like they do these days. And if you think about it now, computers can be so unbelievably expensive if you want to dive down that rabbit hole of trying to be, I don't know what you want to call it, a pro gamer, a serious gamer. I mean, yeah, you can buy some cheaper computers, and there are some cool things these days. But in the beginning, when things first start out, they're better. Back in the day, when I was in my early teens to the 20s, there were companies on almost every corner with different names that sold stereo equipment. And there were tons of receivers on the wall, tons of CD players on the wall, tons of record players, tons of speakers. They had all kinds of different brands. You walked in, you checked them all out. It was a badass thing. It was cool. And they all disappeared. Now where do you go to see that? It's very, very limited. And see, that's the problem with the computer industry. It's kind of going that same way. And now that NVIDIA is probably going to sell their stock and sell their company to somebody else, who even knows if they'll still keep making video cards? I mean, there's a good chance they are because, they kind of dominate that industry in a lot of ways. But I could see them just saying, fuck it, and moving on and let AMD, and Intel take over the market. I could honestly see them doing that. And you just can't go anywhere now and buy those kind of things like you used to be. Think about it. Fry's gone. All the cool places that you had probably around your house are probably gone. What do you got now? Best Buy. I don't know. I'm just not all that impressed with Best Buy. And that's all that's left. All that's left really is Best Buy. There might be somewhere, somehow, some few mom and pops that survived the pandemic and everything. But I'm not thinking so. Everything is totally different now. Somebody getting into the PC industry now is not going to be able to experience the same things that we people who were, around at that time in the beginning and being a part of it. It was just an experience that I'll never forget. And I felt the same way as when I used to work selling stereos and installing car stereos when I was younger. I was totally into that market, and then it just totally dried up. And then I totally got into the computer market. I did overclocking, did all kinds of overclocking tricks and all kinds of stuff. Did things that I'm not even going to tell you guys because people just go, oh, they just don't believe me. So I just don't give a flying fuck anymore. I've done a lot of stuff in this industry, a lot of stuff that I've gotten really no credit for. So I've seen this industry change from a booming, cool thing that was new, that was exciting, that everybody was into together. It was a friendly thing. And then it changed. It started getting more cutthroat. Things just started getting more competitive, more competitive, more competitive, more competitive. And now there's not very many computer companies left. A person getting into computers now does not have the same choices, the same variety, or really probably the same excitement, because they're going to grow up with a phone in their hand, playing games on a digital device, right probably from the time that they almost are born. As soon as they are old enough, 5, 4, 3 years old, they'll have this thing in their hand doing stuff. So PC gaming isn't going to be as exciting for us people because PC gaming came along before you had real mobile phones. I mean, I'd love to hear you guys' comments down below. I know there's some, older folks out there who follow the channel. You guys know what I mean. The PC industry, it's just different now, and it's not as exciting. The good old days are long, long, long behind us. They've come and gone, just like so many other things that have happened in this world. Things come, they get popular, they go out, they blow up. After that, the market dwindles and becomes an entirely different market. That's exactly where the PC is totally headed. It's headed to a shelf at your Best Buy, but it's not like the old days where you could walk in and just look in awe at all the different cool stuff that was available to you to get. All these different crazy cool cases, all these cool things that you've never seen before, which nowadays everybody just takes for granted because they've had it since they were around. So anyways, thanks for watching today's video. Next month, we got a bunch of PC stuff coming up. I got some more mini little PCs coming up. I know you guys don't really like the music stuff, but I still have some other cool stuff coming up next month. I'm going to be talking to you guys about the Synergy systems. By the way, if you like the channel, sub to the channel. If you don't like the channel, please tell me what you don't like. And if you're going to unsub, hey, please do me the favor and let me know why you're unsubbing, because I don't like losing my subscribers. I value each and every one of you. Even though I may not know you on a personal basis, your sub means something to me. When I see it and I know people are there and they're watching, it just means something to me personally, to my heart. So thank you to all the people who haven't unsubbed. And if I've done something to piss you off or something, well, just let me know. Other than that, peace out. I'll see you guys back here for more tech on Tech of Tomorrow.